What is up, Star Wars Unlimited fans? We are here for the long-awaited semifinal of the Misty Mountain Games Spark of Rebellion Open. And I'm here with my co-commentator, Pickardy Third. How you doing, Pickardy?
Good. How's it going, Loopy?
It is a great day when we're commentating Star Wars games. And you actually get to commentate your semifinal match here. You play second in the tournament. Tell us about your novel deck.
Novel deck is a pretty out of the box standard Boba Green deck. It's this one for this tournament was geared a little more towards aggro. I'm running the Consortium Star Vipers out of the gate. I'm running the Viper Probe Droids instead of the Short Troopers. Not actually the right call for this tournament. There was a lot more control than there was aggro. But it ended up working okay up until the finals. So yeah.
Yeah, and the whole, it was a great field. It was great competitive. We had a great mix of decks and some homebrews and some great stuff in the top eight. And then the world, you just threw up a little bit in their mouth altogether as the two Bobas get to the finals. But
It was. I was telling. I think I was telling my opponent in this match. Like I'm kind of I was kind of secretly rooting for him. I think to some extent. Like I actually wanted to see a non-green Boba deck, do well. So I feel bad that I had to take him out here. But we'll see how it occurred. But yeah, I mean this is a really fun deck to play, and it's a fun deck to play against. Inquisitor's just it's a really cool. He's a really cool leader, I think.
yep.
So it's good to see him.
And Zachary Siegel, on the side of truth and justice over here, is playing my favorite deck, Inquisitor Blue. Great brew of Inquisitor. I mean, he piloted it expertly throughout this. I think he actually went 6-0 in Swiss, and actually was the only undefeated. Inquisitor Blue is, I mean, it's the control in this matchup. I know that. I mean, it's a control deck. People don't know it. It's a difficult deck to play against if you haven't. It's one of those decks where if you're sleeping, they can pile on a ton of damage fast. Now, you've actually played against some Inquisitors before.
I have. You actually helped me a lot with this. So in the TTS league, I had to play Coddle, who was playing a Green Inquisitor deck at one point, and like I know we ran the match. I don't know 7 or 8 times or something like that, and I got pummeled in most of those matches. But it taught me a lot about like how to play against Inquisitor, right? So
And you actually ended up beating him.
I did, yeah.
I think
yeah.
we had a run, and I was drawing hop with that Inquisitor deck for sure.
Yeah.
And that one, Coddle's deck was a green Inquisitor. This is a blue Inquisitor. So green Inquisitor's definitely got a better matchup in the Boba. And that said, blue Inquisitor has a lot going for it. I mean, it's probably good into a whole bunch of other things. So, all right, let's get to the match. I think you have initiative. We're already past that. You've been playing cards at this point at the tournament for probably 7 hours.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played a tournament like this, but it was good to get back in the swing of things.
So, how much Star Wars Unlimited have you played prior to coming to this competitive event?
So most of my play had been online. I was like, I heard about this game like right after it was announced, and as soon as kind of the TTS stuff was set up, I was kind of playing online with people. So yeah, I don't think I played as much as some of the people in those leagues, but I'd probably had 100, 150 games in, I think, by the time the game launched.
Yep, I think I did too. And do you think those games helped you?
Oh yeah, like there's this game. There's a lot of sequencing involved in this game, and just getting reps in helps a lot. I think the level of play you're going to see, even going into store champs and the next couple tournaments, are going to go up real fast as people kind of get more and more of those reps in, and just kind of they don't make. There's a lot of silly mistakes you can make when you first start playing, and those are going to get kind of taken out real fast as people kind of get more games in.
Yeah, regular organized play. I mean, it is the way.
Yep.
I mean, find a way to play test. I mean, if you got friends, you got friends. I mean, there's options, digitally. There's weekly play. Wisconsin is a hotspot. Thank God.
Really lucky.
We are lucky. Both Pickardy and I can basically play any day of the week if we really want to.
Yeah.
All right, I lied. Inquisitor actually has the initiative. I see that you have in your opening hand the Inquisitor's least favorite card, which is Overwhelming Barrage.
Yep. It's a good one to have. Like, so I'm basically in all my games hard mulliganing for ramp. it's too good in Boba when you get it, and even my bad draws aren't usually that bad, even if I miss it.
Right.
So it's not a huge risk to mulligan in.
Right. Now, I mean, for a control deck, Inquisitor can push damage early in a way very few decks can. So we'll see if that comes up.
Yeah.
Okay. I see Scout Bike Pursuer.
Roll there, yeah.
Yep. Rollerblades. I think I probably told you that at some point. My friend calls it. That's a good player named Wu, another content creator. Recommend his channel and his stuff for anybody listening to this. All right, and the rollerblades are going to do Inquisitor things.
Yep.
You're going to take the initiative. He's going to hit you for 3.
I got the Marvel Champion style, which is another loopy invention that I've used to good effect.
Yeah. I actually have big visible ones that a nice lady is making for us.
Nice.
I'm picking them up this weekend. So that's pretty cool. Oh my gosh. Didn't mean to move that window. All right, you took initiative. Everybody's deciding what to resource.
Yep. So if I have a resupply or a DJ laser, then I'm playing one of those.
I imagine you're going to ECL in the super laser tech right now that I see in your hand. Could be wrong.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess I did.
I think. I mean, so first off, I think lots of players make mistakes by ECLing super laser tech randomly.
Yep.
But I can see you have a crafty smuggler. He had a 2 health unit that hits for 3. And so you can actually, because of the super laser tech this turn, develop your board with another crafty.
Right. And I can prevent him from readying the second fleet here, or the third, fifth brother.
Right.
Yeah.
So, oh, and a Greedo too. So you choose Greedo over, maybe you didn't have a crafty, I don't know. But also the crafty doesn't trade well into theirs. But Greedo is actually pretty weak to fifth brother too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's true. You just ping me off.
Right. The fifth brother's ability, and it's a great unit, strong aggressive unit. It doesn't hit back in return. That's the downside of fifth brother. But when it attacks, it can do a damage and ping. So you're going to get a Greedo. Let's see if you get his ability. I imagine you're going to try to mill here, and you miss. And then he actually just hit you for 5. So you are down to 17 health remaining on turn 2.
Happens fast against this deck.
Beginning at turn 3. Yep.
Yep.
For a control deck, certainly. Because I do think it's a control deck. I mean, most of the time, you're trying to get rid of the Yungs.
Yep.
You barrage to kill the fifth brother.
Yep. So I'm actually playing this match like I'm a control deck. Because I think he's playing aggressive.
Yep. Well, I think that also when he does 8 damage that fast,
yep.
I mean, you got to rethink your drink over who's the beatdown, right? Because he has 30 health to kill him. You have 17.
Right.
You don't have much margin for error. This is the exact moment where he really would love Babe's Melbus in his deck.
Babe's would be very good there, yep.
Right. But Force Choke's not bad. You've ramped, so we get to see Boba Fett early.
Yep.
Tries to come in upside down, but you correct him. Boba hits in for 4. Ready's a thing.
Probably a 7th fleet coming in, I'm guessing. Maybe Boba.
Mm-hmm.
7th fleet.
Yep. 7th Fleet Defender is just a monster of a card.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yep, and he's certainly playing aggressively.
Yep.
You know, putting the damage into the base there. I think it's right, though. I mean, you're probably actually... I shouldn't speak for you. So what are you thinking going into this turn? Are you wanting to put Boba into that rollerblades in order to ready your resources?
I think it depends on what's in my hand, which I can't quite see. But really, I think what I'm probably trying to do right now is to set up the Inquisitor flip turn and make sure I just don't get routed, right? Because he puts out something like a Seventh Sister, and has the ability to kind of ready her twice on the Inquisitor flip turn. Like, that's bad. So I think I'm mostly thinking about not getting myself into a bad position.
Yep. So, Inquisitor decks. See, I don't know if I should help any more people beat Inquisitor decks, but
They don't need the help. Like, they just draw good cards and ready resources, and it's all good.
yep. So you do, and you do it on the gun though. So you kill the Skullpike Pursuer. I think trying to just save the damage is the reasoning there,
I think
right?
that's right. I'm guessing that's right.
Right, because you're at, actually it says you're at 11, I think. All right, and then we have more Boba Fett's, because why wouldn't we have more Boba Fett's?
Yep.
All he was able to do was power and dark side the 7th fleet, so that did not feel like a good turn for the Inquisitor deck. What I was saying is that Inquisitor decks do tend to be unit light, because there's so many good upgrades and events.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so many like force units, so and your leader is ability doing anything useful depends on having a unit out. So that's he's gonna drop a 7th Sister, I think. Yep. So she is 6, and that's what Boba overwhelms Barrage for. So you've drawn 2 barrages, right?
Yep.
That's the second one.
Yeah, good. Boba's pretty filthy when you draw those things.
Yeah, and you might have had both barrages in hand when you did the early one. I mean, that would have made sense to me.
Because I think that's probably right.
You got to play the cards that you draw too. I mean, if that's the only play that makes sense.
Yeah, that might have been like the only 5-drop I had to, or it might have, the resources might have just been awkward. So that No Good to Me Dead's just rough there too on a leader.
Yeah. Now let's see if you take the kill. Yep.
Yeah, I think there's a discussion.
No. Yeah.
He wasn't. Yeah.
He didn't know how that worked. So a leader does not come into play on the turn that it deploys. It's technically always in play.
Yep.
So don't blame him. I mean, I don't know why Boba unit needs the help, but that is the correct ruling. And he's tilted. He puts Inquisitor there, right? You know that.
Yeah.
I mean, the No Good to Me Dead and kill him with the Boba unit is a time-honored tradition of people who play Boba Green.
Yes.
Now, I'm a Vader player. If you do that to him, he takes a lot of damage, but at least it kills the Boba Fett.
That's right. He at least gets his licks in at the end, and usually survives.
Yeah.
Probably strike in or something.
Yeah. Now, I don't have this card in my Boba deck anymore, but I keep fighting. I've actually used that to save the Inquisitor leader before, right?
Yeah.
Because it can do that after No Good to Me Dead.
Yep.
Right, but then if you choose to attack with it, it doesn't ready still in the next regroup phase.
Yep.
But, yeah. All right, and you would have went to 13 when the Ruthless Raider died.
Yep. That's right.
Okay, looks like a Steadfast. Your ECL was used by the Super Laser Tech, so that's not available to you.
Right.
I mean, you're hoping to draw Fire Spray at this point in the game, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm hoping to draw Fire Spray every turn.
Right.
Pretty much. It's like that's what's the game's out of reach usually.
Okay, so we commentated. Well, I don't know. We'll digress in the other Swiss match that we're doing, but I do want to hear about your thoughts against the Taxter deck at some point.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to give that thought. That's a rough match.
I wanted to play him because I knew I would beat him.
Yeah.
He was he was tilted because I think both of his losses were to Vader decks. Serves him right.
And it's a tough matchup.
Mm-hmm. I actually had tested that with the event I did. But
Yeah, it's he and I tested that. Well, we'll get into it later.
yeah, he said that you had played it plenty.
Yeah. That's why we were able to play so fast. I think in that
Right.
match, probably speed round almost.
All right. He is to 18 health. He does bring the 30 health base, and it's a real tough call.
Yeah, I agree. I
The
think it's the right call, but I don't. You play this deck more than I have, so
well, let me put it this way. I think that for the most part, the correct thing if you're playing a blue base is to bring the 30 host base. If there's a deck that plays Security Complex, it is Grand Inquisitor, just because the shield is more valuable to you than to most. So, I mean, just going through this match, right? The Security Complex could have saved the Grand Inquisitor.
yep.
I think it actually probably would
Can you
have.
put it on a leader unit.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, actually, maybe I'm wrong about that. Moment of Peace certainly can. Security Complex. I don't want to speak. Actually, I think the complex is a non-leader unit, but I mean, I think he would have went into the Boba turn with a live Seven Sister, because at least if I was doing it, and I do run Security Complex, in that first game, my Security Complex shield would have went on the Seven Sister.
Makes sense.
Or the fifth brother and pushed another 5 damage. I mean, it would have been one of those two, but so. And that wouldn't have been enough, but you would have been at 20, if you would have had the fifth brother, survive the other turn. It wouldn't have been able to be killed by a barrage. Okay, your one hope against barrage is shields.
Yeah, that's where it's huge. I think the other thing is, if I'm at 20 damage instead of 15 damage, it limits what I can do on a given turn. Too, all of a sudden you have to worry about taking initiative a lot faster, and you're not letting players out. So it's like getting closer actually changes the way you have to play, right?
And now the single most dangerous deck to take the initiative fast against is Grand Inquisitor, because he has the slam bush, the slow ambush type mechanic of the Inquisitor. Slow, painful ambush, slam bush.
I like it. Did you coin that one, or is that your original? Slam bush.
It was me or Woo. I actually don't remember who said it first, but
We'll give you co-credit.
I think actually he said something along the lines of, he's got this slow ambush action, and I said slam bush, and then we defined it as slow, painful ambush as we go.
You'd see it coming. You can't do anything about it sometimes. It's great.
And oftentimes they don't see it coming.
Yeah,
In one of the Swiss matches that the Inquisitor won against Vader, there was a very interesting chicken game where, the Vader player was holding back damage, but he couldn't claim the initiative. He literally could not claim the initiative because as soon as he claimed, the Inquisitor player had the ability to then ready his fifth brother and then do the last 3 damage, and that kind of thing does happen.
Yeah.
The Inquisitor's ability, I know we have all kinds of people that are watching this, some experts in the game, some new, does 2 damage to a unit with 3 or less attack and readies it. And he can do that once per turn, undeployed. His deployed side, he's only at 3/6, which is sad. But his deployed side lets him ready another unit by doing 1 damage to it. He synergizes well with things like Scout Bike Pursuer, which has grit, so it gets stronger as you ready it. Zach is running Resilient, which seems like a very low impact card, and is in pretty much any other deck. But here, you can cast it on things that have grit, and you can cast it on Fifth Brother. A Resilient Fifth Brother unanswered will win the game faster than anything else in the game, pretty much. So, I mean, they have to find a way to beat it. That's where the security complex comes in. Sometimes you get those wins by being able to put on that free shield on turn 2. The fifth brother clearly is designed to work with Grand Inquisitor. They're both Inquisitors. And the fifth brother's power does not raise when he takes damage. He just gets a point of raid for it.
I really like the design they have for that whole set of Inquisitors.
Yeah.
Very thematic. They just all work together.
Right. All right. This game starts with a probe droid by the Inquisitor and a crafty smuggler by you.
Yep.
How does Boba feel about probe droids?
He's fine with them.
Yeah. I think it's literally the thing you want to see on turn 1 from anybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
like crafty smuggler trades right into it. It's not.
Don't play probe droids into Boba Fett, people. I mean, he gets 3 damage here because he's on the play.
Yep.
But I mean, either you're going to kill it with the crafty or a super laser tech right now. Oh, I see Traitorous in your hand. Was that a sideboard in or was that main decked?
No, so I main decked 2 of those. I think the main in this tournament, I think I was on 2 Bosks as well. So this is painful right here, this Delmico play, because I had a resupply in my hand. And I didn't expect him. Otherwise, if I'd have thought he was a threat, I would have resupplied first turn before killing.
And that could be. I mean, had you not had a 7th Fleet Defender as well,
could have been brutal. Yeah.
That would have left you without a legal play.
Yep.
And I mean, looking back at it, and as you're here, I mean, the sequencing of that, once the probe droid had attacked, there was really no reason to attack it with the crafty smuggler right away. You could have played your event right first, right?
No, heavy sigh for me as soon as I saw that come out. It's just like I could have avoided it, right?
Right.
It wasn't necessary for me to do that sequencing.
Yep. So, I mean, it depends. So, I think the sequencing in broad strokes for Star Wars Unlimited is if you're attacking the base, take the damage when you can because units are fragile. But people can also make mistakes attacking units too soon. If it's a unit that's attacked, what's the hurry?
Yep.
You can always kill it later. And he takes the crafty that way. Now we see what else he has. Okay, I mean, I like that play if he's going to use his Inquisitor ability on anything else.
Right.
If he's not going to, and he is, he's gonna play Fifth Brother here. So that's the right thing to do. So I do like the play. And what I was about to say is, I mean, on turns with Inquisitor that you're going to kill something, right? I mean, he could have gotten the 3 damage and then had that trade there.
Right. So, I remember I'm trying to figure out how to get whether I play my resupply for 4, right? Have I done that already?
You have not yet.
Yeah, so I got to figure out whether I'm going to play this ramp or not. And I think I find a way to maybe take out Del. Oh, that's right. I know good to me dead.
That's not a great play.
We can't ready him.
Oh, does it? Does it say? Oh, it can't ready. It can't. Yeah, no, you're right.
Can't ready.
No, you're right. It can be readied next turn after the regroup phase, I believe.
Yes, that's right. Yes, we can. Like, I think I'm actually playing the control right now. He's been playing more aggressive.
Yeah, I think the judging at the event was good. They did have a judge at the feature table throughout. I think the event in general was well run.
It was. They had 3 judges throughout the event that were kind of readily available, and as you said, Jason was on the main table or the table 1 for pretty much the whole day, I think.
Yep. Now that's a blowout.
Yeah, that's. I think that's why I know good to be dead in there because I had traders in hand.
Right. I wonder if he's got a Fang Fighter. He does carry them in his sideboard. We'll see if he sideboards after the game too, because I mean, I don't put Fangs in against Boba. Some people do for the shields. I don't against Boba unless I know he's playing traitorous, either because it's open deckless or other reasons. I think you've taken 6 at this point as well. He's at 5. Going to 10.
Yep.
Because of the 5th brother who got lured by the mercenary.
Yeah.
Is Boba Fett a favorite character in Star Wars?
So I mean, Boba Fett's cool, right? Like I think I'm really psyched for the next set coming out. I'm a big Afro fan, from the comics and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to get to play a deck with her and the Murder Bots at some point, hopefully. But Boba Fett's good. I think what draws me to the deck is I like playing good decks, but also like I'm more a mid-range player, I think. So this is a mid-range deck that's also very good. So like a lot of people, I'm drawn to that. So
all right, now he has Scout Pike Pursuer out, so he does have some degree of a board, but one that could be killed by Boba Fett.
yeah, like I'm pretty comfortable, I think, in the position here. This is the standard kind of post flip.
This is
One,
the neck crushing.
Right, and I'm at 7 now, so I can, if I've got Vader in hand, I can just take out that Scout Pike Pursuer with only taking 1 back on Vader.
He's gonna run it into the 5th brother, which is the
Makes sense.
clear play
That's
there.
right. Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
Right, because this at least then it hits Boba back for 3 instead of 1.
Absolutely.
You put 3 more in with the 7th Fleet Defender. I agree with that sequencing. Though Force Choke would punish you.
Oh yeah, it would.
Open Fire would too.
Yeah.
So you do take some punish from that.
Yep.
This looks like Vader.
Yep. Yeah, your point of the prior sequencing. Yeah, it's like I guess I'm probably not attacking with Boba because I'm trying to put some resources out and then maybe ready on a kill, which Vader would have given me. But it is greedy, and you can get messed up.
Mm-hmm. The Boba Green deck really doesn't have the Imperial density to run Snow Trooper Lieutenants effectively.
Nope.
I think any other deck that runs Vader needs them.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's a lot. Like the other one is Subblock Guard. I think that could be really clutch in certain games.
Oh, sure.
Vader, but
So I think the reason that Vader's so good, that's a sneaky reason Vader's so good, is action efficiency. One thing about this particular game, Star Wars Unlimited, is you often get very few actions in the later rounds because you can't afford to take a lot of things because you need to claim to prevent a lethal or have a chance to prevent a lethal on the next turn.
Yep.
And Darth Vader is the only 7-drop that always provides value, right?
Yep.
Because he always pulls something out that's worth 3, usually kills something.
Yep. Yeah, against that red item deck or any sort of red blue combination, like Vader's very good there too. So you're protecting yourself against Power of the Dark Side by the removal.
And I think you make the right decision here to go with the base rather than anything else.
Yeah, I think here it's like I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to outrace him. So here,
if you have Fire Spray, you have lethal. Well, no, wait, he's on
he's
a
a
30
fist.
Yep.
I've got a little ways to go, but
I presume you don't have Barrage because you probably would have cleared. Well, it only does 2. And that's why I think it's a problem for Inquisitor is by definition, I mean, he usually has a bunch of units with not a lot of health, and if you're piloting well, that's what you're trying to do. But
Yeah.
being able to hit more than one at a time is a problem.
Agreed. I guess what's happened here is there's a question about how much damage. I was at 6. Inquisitor hit me or put 3 in, and I moved it to 9. But then there was a question about what I was on, so we had to kind of roll back and make sure that was the right amount of damage. So
Yeah.
it was
Oh.
supposed to be 9.
And it looks like it's confirmed by the tape.
Yep. Hooray. Yeah, you never there's a lot to keep track of. Like I think people will make mistakes and weird accounting mistakes and stuff like that, and you hope it kind of comes out right when you roll it back.
One interesting thing of coverage at an event like this, which is what we're doing, is it does actually provide you a little bit of ability to instant replay if the store wants to do it. All right, so Greedo has the chance to live the dream here in 2-for-1, and he doesn't.
Does not.
He never seems to for me either.
No, it's really fun when it happens. It's about a little less than 1 in 3, I guess, in this deck. So yeah.
All right, you got to. Oh, and he's looking down his own demise right there.
Yep.
Doesn't scoop. Get rid of the Vader.
Yep. So if he has an answer for Fire Spray, then he's still in the game, and if not, well, I guess that puts him on 26. So I can't quite finish him off with 7th Fleet unless I've got a pump.
Yep.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah. Really, I mean, being a Vader player, this is what we're commenting before. Sometimes Force Lightning can be really good for Villain Red, and one of the reasons is that it can hit Fire Spray. I mean, at that point in the game, you tend to have worse Force units out, more in a green-red deck than a blue-red deck, but...
and you've got resources to spend, too, so you're spending 4 with Force Lightning, right, to take out a Fire Spray. You can't... besides the one that's naked with Power of the Dark Side, it's just not... It's the cheapest removal for it, as long as you got a Force unit out, so...
All right, so that was the match where you killed the hero, Grand Inquisitor. And put Boba in there. What's your final comments about the game and this finals that everybody's about to watch?
So yeah, I'm sorry you guys have to watch a green Boba match. Nobody probably wanted that, but I think to Luffy's point, it was actually a very diverse top 8. I think the Bobas just happened to kind of sneak in. I think I mentioned on this. I had to sneak by a Vader player. I think in top 8 that. There were a couple close games there. I think Alex had a couple close games against Titan in his semifinal match. So, the meta's not bad. It's a little Boba heavy. Boba's a little strong, but there's answers to him. And I think I'm really happy with where the game's at in general. So,
all right. Well, congratulations on your excellent run, and everybody tune in tomorrow for the finals of the Mr. Mountain Opens. Which Boba will come supreme? Later.